Yes. Let me see there. Okay. Joy and Jerry saying yes. And okay. So, Lewis, you calculated the profit and you said you got something different, and yours was 43,212.43. Would you mind showing us how you got 43,212?
Okay, let me share my screen.
Okay.
A minute. Everybody can see my screen. Hello,
Yes, yes.
can you see my screen?
Yeah, I believe. Yeah, it's in.
Okay, so I have to what is it? The accounts and totals, here product name totals and blah blah blah. So this is the other table, my revenue report. So first, I calculated. I I had very many steps, but hope you'll understand. First, I calculated the total production cost. So this is the total production cost. Let me click here. And you see it's a new measure. This was the DAX language I used. Some some X KTL store. Then KTL stores was the table. This was the expression. KTL sales, total sales times the total production cost. So this created the total production. So the total production, this is the total production here, but now this is it has been assigned to each product. So the total production is 132.6. Also can measure called the total revenue, but I created it here under KTIA's store. Total revenue over here. So this is the DAX language I used. This is the I named it total revenue. The formula was some X. I used the KTL store as the table, and then the expression was KTL sales, total sales times now the price for each product. And doing that, I got total revenue as 87,945.09. This was the total revenue. Now to get the net profit, I just took total revenue minus the total production, but I created it as a measure also. So here it is a minute. Uh, Now this is profit margin. Oh, net profit. Here it is total profit. Now this was the DAX language I used, so I named the new measure net profit, which I used total revenue minus total production cost. So these were the visuals after adding different types of data. So maybe I can start with the total production visual. Let me place it. No, before that, let me just create another tab so that it may be perfectly seen. Let me add another table. A minute. Yeah, here it is. So total production cost first. So let me drag total production over here. It's loading. While loading, let me change the visual to matrix. So that was the matrix. So this is the total production cost aggregate, the total value. So maybe I could divide it into each production cost of each product. So we'll just drag a product ID. We see the total production cost of each ID. So let me drag. So these are the aggregates. So product ID 101 was the total production cost was 53.30. Maybe I can prove to you how I got 53.30. Let me drag the production cost to this tab. You'll see what how it will behave. So when dragging it, let me expand it. Here we go. So maybe you can see product ID. Let me also drag this part. Yeah. So product ID 101, the production cost was 1.01. Also from our, let us, the table view, looking in the table view, you'll see a minute. It's taking time to load. Wow. Oh, wow. But I hope we are following all. Uh, wow. Just decided to do that thing. Character development. Okay.
Yeah, it has decided to do that thing as you're saying.
It has decided not to respond. I think it's back. Uh, not responding also. A minute, not responding. Let us give it time. But time is not we don't have.
Yeah, but I believe maybe we've seen your thought process around that. Let me
Yeah,
just
it is.
okay.
Uh, so let us see the production cost. We just want to prove the production. So let us take KTL store. Uh, yeah, here it is. So production. What am I seeing here? I think this is the total production cost. Here it is production cost. So ID 101, the production cost is 13.67. Blah blah blah. So product ID 1010, it was 101, 1.01. Also, we can go back to our table. Here is the product 1010. You can see when I highlight it over here. Uh, this is the product ID 101. Let me also add the unit sold so that it may make more sense. But that is so product this 1010. You see the total production cost is 36.43. It is summing the production cost, which is 1.01 times the total units sold. That is 343 times 1, you get this as the total production cost. So that is my mind about that. Also, so after doing all that, you see at the far end, it's giving you the total production cost of each product ID. So the way they are arranged and sum of total units sold and the production cost. So this was the total. This was the total production cost. Maybe I can minimize it so that I may add the other data, the other measure. Let me drag it. Uh, it won't drag. Okay. Okay. Maybe now we do now also the total revenues. Total revenues. The logic is still that. It's loading. Let me change it to matrix. So this is the total revenue. So when I add product ID to break it down to each product, I get that. When I also do units sold, I get this. and I get now the price so that I may see their summation perfectly done. So product we drag till the far end. So here down you see my totals. Totals, these are the total revenue. So this is the total revenue for product ID 1010. So it took total units sold. Let me click here. Yeah, here. So it took the price, which is 2.75, multiplied it by 343 to get 943.25. So this is the total revenue, and now these are the total units sold. So it goes like that, coming to the far end. So this is my total revenue over here. This was for each product ID, and getting, we have seen how we are getting these total revenues. We are taking the units sold times their revenue cost, the prices. So these are the total revenue. Now, after doing all that, I came to this measure. Now, the total profit, here it is. So net profit, this was the DAX language. Total revenue minus the total production cost. We have all seen the total revenue. Total revenue is 87,945.09, but the total production cost was this. So let me go back to this revenue report. Yeah. So here, product ID, so total production cost. You have seen all these aggregates, blah blah blah, and these were the values for total production cost, total revenue. So when you do the subtraction, total revenue minus 53,000, you get the aggregate net profit for product ID. 1001 is 6,654. So it's the same for all these. They'll do the summation and you get this as your net profit, 43,212.43. Well, I think that's all. That's all for now.
Okay.
That's how I got my values. I started to be corrected if I did it wrongly.
Okay. Um, we'll let's also try uh, to get it from our end. I've seen one of the products that you mentioned is that product 1001 had a profit of 6754.80. We'll see if it makes sense. Yeah. So we left it somewhere, and yeah, I was just trying to work on those things today, and that's why my report is a little bit dirty. Uh-huh. Let's see what we wanted to do. So even before that, yesterday we also mentioned something around trying to calculate. Yeah, so these are my net profits, but we'll see how we got it. I had already calculated them. Let me resize this. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So yesterday there was something that we were mentioning even before we went away, that we can write an if statement. I don't know if you wrote it yesterday or the day before yesterday, that when you wrote the if statement. So for example, let me see. I don't think we wrote it yesterday. Okay. Uh-huh. So we can even start with that as part of even a Dutch language. Which product can we use? Let me see, order ID. Okay, yesterday we used order ID, so we can just use this Katia cells and try to write an if statement, because I'm not seeing it here. So you can just right click, and somebody's microphone is on. Lewis.
Sorry.
Yeah, so writing an if statement also is possible. So suppose maybe we want to write a statement to tell us, maybe if an order ID, or maybe if a certain amount of order is not really order ID but unit sold, if a certain amount of units sold is exceeds a given number, then we place it at maybe if this is a big sale, this is a low sale, or something of that sort, like just trying to differentiate the two. So looking at it from the units sold, that is where we can really make sense out of it, not ODD. So you can just right click and if statement you also met in Excel, and this is just like a recap of what you did in Excel. So writing an if statement also, you can create a new column, right? So new column, and so you just right click on this Katia cells, right click and then create a new column and say maybe um, what can you give the column name? Evita, what do you want us to give the column name for this if statement? Is Evita present? Yeah, Evita is there. We want to write an if statement to return for us uh, the unit sold. So if the unit sold maybe exceeds uh, 30 or exceeds 45, it's considered a big sale. Yeah, that can just be anything, like maybe uh,
We can
sale run.
you can do like a pass or fail, so
A
that if
pass or
it's a pass is 30, we make it like we indicate P, or if it doesn't surpass 30, we maintain F. That's a fail.
so yeah, that will really apply more of in a where we have maybe marks of students and such like stuff, right? And it will really, of course, we can do that. But now, in this case, we're talking about maybe sales. We can just maybe mention maybe big sale, low sale, and such like stuff. Or let's just even use that pass. So that will be if, right? So if what? So what is the logical test?
If I go
So
to
if
where we said that if it's a pass is 30, that's a pass, and if it's below 30, it's like we didn't make it wasn't like a huge sale.
yeah, we can use that. We talked about this yesterday. I want somebody to tell me what I'm supposed to be writing. Beryl, we want to write an if statement to return to us the unit sold, right? If it goes, let's use maybe 35. If it goes above 35, it returns for us a pass, right? And if it's below 35, it's a fail, right? Tell me what to write, Beryl.
Well, pretty fast. And
Sorry?
I'm saying
Yes.
we pass.
I pass. Anyways,
Yeah, pass.
so if you check here, what is it's asking you more of like a logical test. What are we testing? So what you're testing is this section called units sold.
Okay.
So the units, so you just write units. Of course, you can see Ketia's units sold is there, and just tab. Right. Ketia, if the unit sold is greater than what? Greater than 35, right? Greater than, let's say greater than 35, comma, result if it is true. So if it is true, it should tell us that it is a pass. And then comma, result if it is false. How about if it is below 35? So this is greater than 35, right? So less than 35. So less than 35. But does it mean that, so this is greater than or equaling to, right? It should be greater than or equaling to 35. Because if we write greater than 35, and then we write less than 35, then 35 will be left hanging. So pass, uh-huh. Let's first see. Let's see if it works first. And then result, if it is false, we will have a fail. It has failed the test. So that is our new column. And you press enter. Let's see if somebody has 35. There is no 35 here. So that we see what. Okay. Also, there's 35 here in Biz Sure Limited. So the result is fail. So if it greater than 35, pass. If it less than 35, fail. Okay. Yeah, so that is how to write maybe. So that is cell rank. We could even maybe name it something like even order size. It depends. Order size, and then if get your cells, so this is 35, fail. Or maybe big cell where we had this one becomes now maybe low cell, right? And you press enter again, it just changes what you had initially. Is somebody having an issue around that? Haji Bosharo. Oh, Haji has just left. Victor Sangoro, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay.
Yes, I'm okay.
Oh, okay. So high cells, low cells, yeah. Okay. We can change this to Control Z. Let me see what like use this high cell, low cell. Okay. So Alvin, you're asking me to repeat. So similar to maybe how you'd write an if statement in Excel. I don't know if I have any. No, I don't have the data open. But yes, you'll just maybe now we are creating a new column. In this case, we are not creating a new measure. If you create a new measure, you won't see it really here, right? So creating a new column. And then you write, so order size, of course, that is the name of your column. And then now introduce the if statement. You can just redo it, Control X. Your if statement, and then now bracket. It tells you logical test. What is going to be returned? No, what are we testing? Sorry. So checks whether a condition is met and returns one value if true and another value if false. So what is the column that we are trying to test? The column that we are trying to test is called units. The moment you just start typing unit, of course, it brings you Katia cells. Or you can start typing by putting the quotation marks, right? And then writing Katia. Now you see, and then now you can move it around to Katia unit cell and press tab. And then now you define your information. If it is greater than 35, let's just use still what we use. Then comma, result if it is true. If it is true, the information that is going to be returned is that this is really a huge cell, a high cell, right? Then comma, result if it is false, right? So if the cell is not above 35, what are we going to return? We are going to return that this is a low cell. And then of course, you remember to close your parentheses. This is parenthesis that needs to be closed. So you press enter. Then you have your low cell. So for example, if you check unit sold 32, it's a low one. 68, it's a high cell. 69, high cell. 48 and such like stuff. And for you to even maybe see them in a better way, you can try to do what we call let's go to this section and go to our data, and we created Under Katia cells, we created a new column called order size. Let's see what you can do with the order size. Okay, are we? Okay. We'll use a different column because we have not created a model here. If we could have created a model here, we could do what you call conditional formatting, because we can't do the conditional formatting on the table. But if we had created a visual, not a model, sorry, we are going to also check how to do conditional formatting, even using that same column that we created, or doing a conditional formatting on something like this one. Uh, yeah, let me expand it and then you see. Yeah, so for example, we might need to create a conditional formatting on this measure. It's more of right clicking and then we'll go to conditional formatting. That is what I was looking for. It's not possible because we have not used that order size to create a visual. That is also something that we left for us to go and check yesterday, but we are going to look at it and something on Slicer. Now let's go back to that question on
Excuse me, one first.
sorry.
Excuse me.
Yes.
So I have just entered the formula,
Uh-huh.
but it is bringing me an error, hash
Mm.
error.
Mm.
So the comment is cannot find the table high.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So for you, the first thing you've written is high.
I have written if Hetia's unit sold is greater than 35,
Mm.
then in parentheses high.
Parenthesis or quotes.
Is it parentheses? The quotation marks, sorry.
Uh,
The quotation marks high, then a
uh-huh.
comma, then low, open parenthesis, low cell, closed parenthesis, then I put closing brackets.
Uh-huh. And it's telling you that could not find table high.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
cannot find table high.
Maybe you can just show it where
Okay, now
we see. Okay.
here we are. Are you able to see it?
Yeah, you've let me see.
So this is the formula.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Order, yeah,
Can you use double quotes?
or double quotation. Huh?
Yeah.
Let me try. That way?
Yeah, and
Okay. Oh, worked. It worked.
okay.
Thank you.
Welcome. Yeah, that's okay. Now let's go to that question about finding a profit. And then we are going to use this table. So let me show you. There's it was in Katia store. Okay. Don't mind about this profit column and what you have here. Actually, you can even delete. Let me delete them. That I'd used them to create a certain visual. Yeah. So how would we calculate a profit? Like looking at what we have here, and then bringing in the idea about units sold. What will be the formula to calculate a profit? Just the formula, or even written down that this is how I will calculate a profit. Let me pick somebody. Ingrid, if you ask to calculate a profit based on, maybe we have this price, we have this production cost, and also we have the units sold. Units sold in Ketia sales. So we have a unit sold here 32, 68, 69, 48, 70, and all through. And then we check.
Okay, so
Okay.
yeah, so profit, the formula for profit using the items we've been given is price minus production cost. Then you multiply by the number of units sold. So in this case, because each unit had its own unique price and cost, so the way I did it on the table, each item is corresponding to its unit profit, then it multiplies, yeah, by the unit sold. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So what will really happen is let's try to recalculate that in Ketia store. Yeah. Here we are. Yeah. So there's you can use some function, but some function will return for you wrong values, and that is where now we use the sum x function. So sum x function is more of like an iterator function. So it looks at it through every row, not of course, if you calculate it using a sum function, it will add everything that is here, and then we'll be multiplying it by uh, by the number of units that are sold. So we can try to create a new column under Ketia store and then new column. So let's just call this column profit number 3. Profit 3. And so the profit function will be, so that will be equaling to sum, let's use sum x. So sum x, it tells you what is the table that you are using. So which table are we using here? So the Ketia sales, right? Is it Ketia sales or Ketia store? So Ketia sales. Then, sorry, so Ketia sales. And then it's asking you for now the expression. So what is the expression that we want to use to calculate the profit? So in an instance, it will just be production cost, which is Ketia production cost. Where is the production cost? So Ketia production cost minus Ketia, sorry, not production cost. The first one should be Ketia price. Ketia price. So Ketia price should be somewhere here. And then you tab and then subtract, of course, this needs to be in a parenthesis. And then after subtracting after subtracting this, then you multiply by the units sold. Get your sales units sold. Then you close the bracket. And then our new column is, of course, it just gets back to what I had before, so that it is subtracting price minus the production cost. So for example, for nylon rope, it is 30.99. 30.99 minus 13.67, 13.67, which is equaling to 17.32, and then multiplies it by the number of units sold. So what was our number of units sold? What was the number of units sold? Do you have the count for the number of units that were sold? Let's check somewhere here. Nylon.
390.
It was 390. So 390 times 17.32. Yeah. So is that value okay? So 30.99 minus 13.67, and then gets us the number of units sold to be 5197.32. And let's see what we have here. So this was the count of product ID, and then product name, measure. What was this measure? So sum of units sold.
I don't think so.
It's not okay, right? Okay. So I think in my case, what has happened is this. I've seen the mistake that
Hello,
it,
Boniface.
yes.
I think just get back to the formula you have used to calculate the column.
Yeah, that's in the issue. Okay.
I think we used on is it Hetias stores or Hetias cells?
If here
Yes.
there's an error that is going to happen if you use Ketia's store. Let's just copy this and you see it. Let me copy it before the error happens. So let's use Ketia's store. Yeah, right now you see it's telling you that cannot find name units sold. Though units sold is under Ketia sales. That's why that is happening. But I've seen what is happening on my end, and I think what you did, Lewis, it might be true, because checking on here, the total amount of products that were sold were 3,001. The total units that were sold were 3,001. So what my formula is doing is it's taking 30.99 minus 13.67, which is 30.99 minus 13.67, and it's multiplying it by 3001, which is not true. Yeah, it should be multiplying it by so for example, that first one was get your sales units sold. That first one was this one is 51.9977. Yeah, so it's not correct. So the first one was nylon drop. You should be multiplying it by 390 instead of 30 point instead of 3001. Yeah, Lewis validated. Though you had a long process, I'll see on how you can simplify that so that it really doesn't take too many tables for you to come up with.
Boniface,
Yes, yes.
uh, what if you can still modify it just there on the column and try to use this formula? Let me read it out for you. You do sum x, then you choose KTR store as your table.
Mm-hmm.
Then you take KTR's sales times KTR's sales total sales times KTR's store production cost and see if it will sum up to something.
Uh, do I have that sum really?
Yeah, we did that. We
So
created that measure in the KTR store. The total sales. We had the total sales. We had created that measure.
do we have total sales on KTS store? On my side, I don't have. So this is count
Oh,
of product
oh,
ID. I have count of product ID and I have measures, and yeah, I'll sweep through it and then send this formula in the group.
okay.
Yeah, so that it doesn't take time right now. Yeah, but that validates that this answer that I and Jabin got. It's not okay. I just figured it right now. Yeah, but again, this is how you. I think the only bit that is correct is this side. So this needs to be looked into. Ketia cells, or just create a new column that. Let me see if we can have a column. Okay, times measure. Let me see if I can multiply it by measure, and that measure is in Ketia cells. Let's see if it doesn't work. I'll check on it. Ketia cells measure. Let's try it with that. So it's still bringing the same thing, which is wrong still. Yeah, Ketia measure is 12. So it's doing a summation. Okay. Yes, Lewis?
I'm saying maybe we can create that measure right now. That for total sales. Maybe we see if it will do.
For the total amount of sales that we have.
The total sales, the total units sold, the summation of the total units sold, so that we get the total sales. We create a measure called total sales, and then the formula will be the summation of KTR sales units sold in KTR's store.
Even this one that we have here is still using the total, which is down here, this total 3001, because this is what we are going to find if we create that total amount of sales total units sold that you're talking about, right? We're going to be having this 3001. And that is what, even calculating again, it's still using that to calculate. So that is the issue that we are having, that it should not be multiplying by this amount 3001. It should be multiplying by distinct values. That is 390, 182, 350, and such like stuff. Yeah, so that you can leave it pending, and I'll share the workings. Something else that we could talk about is drill down and drill through. I don't know if we looked at drill downs and drilling down and drilling up. Somebody checked on it and found it to be really confusing. Was it Alvin?
Hello, Boniface.
Yeah.
Okay, I have to admit, To be honest, mimi nimepotea kabisa. Um, First of all, in the previous formula, before we go to the drill concept,
Yeah, the Dutch one that we are trying to calculate the profit.
yeah. Now the challenge I was getting is
Yes.
that because these three tables are interconnected using the relationship models.
Yeah.
Like for example, if I want to just calculate the total profit just direct,
Mm.
without like using a measure here, measure there. So for example, I use the total profit, the total production cost for here. I get it, then I minus directly from the units sold from the get your sales table. I usually get an error. So what could the problem be?
That you do a summation of this total cost.
You see, like the way you've done here.
This formula that you're having, the sum x.
Yeah. Now, like the way you've done there,
Mhm.
now you use it from a different table. You use the sum x from the Ketia sales table since it has the profit
Mhm.
margin. Then you minus now from the one that you have in this other table. Will it work?
Have you tried it out?
Yeah, I tried it out so many times and I kept on getting an error. So I'm asking.
Yeah, maybe let's check on that when it's done. Like when we are done with the class, and then we look at it.
Okay.
Yeah. And so we wanted to look at something called drill through and uh, drill down. So we'll talk about drill down and drill up. And yesterday we mentioned something that it's just there to give you more information, right? We can be having like information underlaid below the main visual that you're viewing. So, for example, let's create something. Let me just remove this and add a new page. Yeah, and I also showed you yesterday how to change the appearance of your table of your report view, and we'll just recap it again. So suppose maybe you want to use this city, right? And we want to see a visual on, or even let's not use that. There is a table that we used that we calculated to tell us the sum of units that were sold by day of the week. So this one, I believe we have it, or we can just even redo it. So we have the day of the week, then we have the sum of units sold per day. So let's recreate that. So it's day of the week. Where is day of the week? Day of the week is in the Ketia cells. So go to your Ketia cells and try to bring it into the report view, and then we create something called a drill through. So let's look at units sold and put it into the data section. Uh, Let me change that to something like this. Okay. But again, we don't want it to do that summation. So let me tell it not to summarize. Should we be doing a summation? Sum of the day. Okay, let me try to bring in another visual here. We are looking at units sold. So days of the week should be in the x-axis, and then this one is on the y-axis, and then we have now the units sold. You can bring it on the y-axis section. Yeah, so this is what we are looking for. So we have the on the x-axis, of course, we have the days sold. We can just expand it and see. So this is the information that we have, and of course, we can now try to drill through, underlay more information about this. So suppose you want to see maybe products that were sold per day, right? And we can just bring in maybe product name or product ID. So let's try product name and bring it again under the x-axis. So don't take it anywhere else. Just put it under the x-axis. So right now you can see you can see that there is more information under the main one that we are viewing. So you can turn on this drill down, and if we click maybe drill up, we go back to where we were, number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this one can help you. Maybe you are giving some sort of more explanation to somebody. You can now underlay more information beneath that. If we move to the next level of hierarchy, then these are the things that you're seeing. That yeah, in another level of hierarchy, these are the units that were sold by product name. Let me go back and try to look at it per day. Let me click on day one. If you click on day one, you can see that these are the products that were sold on day one. Nylon rope, of course, was around 130. And then multi-tool survival knife was there, N95 mask, and such like stuff. If I drill up, I will be getting back to what we to where we were. Of course, I can even have day of the week as part of the legend. Let me see day of the week. Day of the week, if I bring it to the legend section, yeah, of course, now we have specific color for every day of the week. Maybe I've gone too fast. Let me review what you've talked about. And just, I can remove this. Let me remove it so that we start afresh. So first we are building a visual. We want to see like the products that were sold per day, right? This one is giving me a summation, but I don't want that. So you just change the visual that you have. So I can change it maybe to stacked column chart, right? So that it becomes that. And then yeah, it's not supposed to be on the y-axis. It's supposed to be on the x-axis. And then now I bring in the units that were sold. So units sold, I put it on the y-axis. And then for me to maybe view distinct days so that they don't have the same color. Sorry.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Where are you getting the day of the week?
Sorry.
Where are you getting day of the week?
We calculated this column on Tuesday, right?
Okay.
Do you have it?
No, that is why I think I'm stuck.
Okay. Is anybody else missing the day of the week that I'm talking about?
Me too.
Eric is okay. Moshiti and Aloch. Who else is missing it? Uh, Joy, you have it.
No,
James, sorry.
I don't have it.
Okay, okay. But you have this data about Ketia cells.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, let's remove this and calculate it. So who is going to tell us how to calculate the day of the week? We can just name it a different thing. Click on control, like right click, sorry, and then create a new column. Create a new column. Or you can just even go to home, and then there's now this new column which you can calculate. So follow through Evita and I'll watch, and also Joy. So you can just right click here so that you create a new column, right? So here we are going to use a Dutch language again. So let's call it day of the week 2, a new column, right? So if here is where now the day function, there's a day function. So we've talked about several Dutch functions that you can use, and there's also a day function that is here. When you type on day, there are several functions of day. There can be network days, next day, previous day, today, UTC day, but the one that you want to use is the weekday. It is going to reproduce what we had the day of the week. So click on weekday. Are we together, Aloch and Mushiti and Joy?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. Now so this should be there. Yeah. So we are going to use this column called date purchased, right? Let me just go back and so typing it weekday and tab. It tells you returns a number from 1 to 7, identifying the day of the week of a date, right? Let me go back to this side. Yeah, so it has already created, but it's an error. So this is where we want to use, like the column that you want to use. So if it is Sunday, we want to assign it to a certain number, maybe number 1, number 2, or number 3. If it is Monday, we are going to assign it into a number. So which day was this specific order purchased, right? So that is what this is the column that you want to use. If it is Sunday, we want to give it a numerical number. Yeah, let's go back to our equation. So equaling to weekday in bracket date purchased, right? Okay. It's called Ketias date purchase, Ketias sales date purchased, right? And then what happens if you put a comma? Then it tells you return type, the type that will be returned. Then there's 1, there's 2, there's 3. Do you understand what these things mean? Joy.
Yes.
So what does 3 mean?
For example, if I choose 3, the first
Uh,
day according to what I've clicked on, it will be on Tuesday, and then the second day will be on Wednesday. Yeah, following that way.
So Monday will be day 0, Tuesday will be day 1, and such like stuff. So for example, let's go down and click on this read more. What does it tell you? Uh-huh. So Monday is 0 through Sunday 6. So Sunday is day number 6. Of course, if Monday is 0, Tuesday 1, Wednesday 2, Thursday 3, Friday 4, Saturday 5, and Sunday 6, that information is there. If you choose 2, then Monday is 1 and Sunday is 7. So Monday 1, 2, 3 mpaka Sunday 7. If you choose 1, then Sunday is equaling to 1 through to Saturday equaling to 7. Joseph, are we together?
Sure.
Cool. So you can choose maybe
1.
okay, sawa, let's choose 1 and close the bracket and then press enter. Yeah, you see now there's a new column that has been created. So if any order was placed on Sunday, then it is 1. Order placed on Monday, it is 2. One placed on Tuesday, it is 3. All through up to Sunday, right? Sunday, Saturday, and all those. So I think we are okay, Evita.
Yes, yes.
Okay, coolio. So let's go back to what we are doing. I hope there's no one being left behind. Yeah, so what you wanted to create again, we can use that day of the week. I don't know, it's the one that we created, or day of the week 2, because that is what you've created. Let's use that. Uh-huh. Yes, this is the visual. So of course, it's trying to calculate for us maybe some of the day week 2, but we don't want that. You can change it to even this stacked column chart, right? And it placed it on the y-axis. You can just move it back to x-axis, right? Okay. And then what do you want to see? We want to see the units that were sold per day, even though we place in the y-axis. And then, because these things are just, you see like the colors are the same, but we might want a distinct color for number 4, distinct color for 1, 2, so that we don't get confused in terms of how we want to view them. So that is where we can even just pull back this day of the week and put it in the legend, the legend or legend section, right? So you can see now every day has a distinct color for it, right? Are we able to do that? I'm seeing Lewis, your hand is up.
Yeah, kindly if you could steps back, building the visual, please.
So where are you stuck?
From the beginning of building the visual. And yeah.
Who else is also stuck? So Priska, you okay? Victor,
I'm stuck.
you're stuck from the beginning also.
No, from where we were creating days of the week.
Okay. Mushiti, your microphone is on.
Yes. Same problem.
From where we were creating days of the week?
The days of the week is okay. Now, in the building visual, mine was not showing. So you
So let me
can,
remove this.
yeah.
Okay. I'll go one step back to pick Victor. Let me delete this. Delete from model. I hope deleting also is not a problem. Yeah. So what you wanted to do? So if you are here on Katia cells, I think you can see this Victor. You can just right click and get this new column, or you can even just go to when you are in this position, you can just click new column. Yeah. So when you're here, you can even just use the right click and get your new column. So our new column is day of the week 2. So I think this one we're moving a little bit faster now. So renaming a column, I think that is not an issue, right? So yeah, of course you can even be using underscores. Those are things that we talked about. If you don't want to use that, day of the week. And then there's a function called weekday. There's a function that is called weekday, right? And then which column are we using? So it returns a number from 1 to 7, identifying the day of the week of a date. So which column are we using? Start typing Ketia, and you want to use this date purchased. So you can just click down, like move up and down using your up and down arrows, and settle on date purchased, and click enter. Weka comma. Victor, are you okay up to that point?
Yes, I'm okay.
Okay. Now here is where you choose which one how you want them to be shown, right? If you choose one, then if it was placed on, it was purchased on Sunday, it will be represented by 1. If it was purchased on Saturday, itakuwa 7. If it was purchased on Thursday, it will be 5.
5.
Right? Yeah, so we can just put 1 and close the bracket and then click enter or tap this. There's this tick. Okay.
Yes.
Cool. Yeah. Now let's try to build the visual that we wanted to build. So what you wanted to build, okay. Lewis and Joseph, you can drag this to, or even before dragging that, you can always come to this visual bar here and pick on, I want maybe this bar stacked column chart, or I want maybe this clustered column chart, or I want this 100%. So whatever it is that I want, I can just click it first. So I want maybe this stacked column chart. So it comes here, right? Ikikuja hapo, then pull your day of the week, put it into the x-axis. Okay? Are we together?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So and again, so that is on the x-axis. What do we want to visualize? We want to see the number of units that were sold per day. Then drag this unit sold and put it in the y-axis. So here you can even change some measures. So what is the mode of aggregation that you want? Do you want it to be counted? Do you want the maximum, minimum, average, median, and such like stuff? But of course, for us, we want the sum. These colors are the same. I want to see each day having a different kind of color, and that's why I was just bringing back this. Sorry, let me first resize this. I was bringing back this day of the week and placing it under the legend, right? And so if we check it again now, we have a different kind of, yeah. So step number 1 done, right? Priska, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm working on something. Yeah.
Okay. Amos?
Excuse me. No,
Yes.
okay until I've created even the bars. But
Yes.
now if I see yours are different. Like there's variation in terms of the units sold. Apparently mine, it seems like they're all the same.
It might be depending on what you put here, the bar that you picked here, the visual that you picked, sorry, here, or it can be in terms of hapa inafaa ikuwe sum of units. So maybe yours is on maybe count of units or something. So can you check either the visual here?
My y-axis is sum of units, and
Okay.
my bars I've used the 100% stacked column chart.
So don't use 100% stacked.
Okay.
You can use this stacked column chart instead of that 100%. Can you try this stacked? Just press
Yeah.
it, see like you remove your visual. Okay, iko sawa?
Yes, that's good. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. So you can even play. Even this one, I can just decide to. Of course, this is just like trying to play around with them. If I use this, the funnel one, it is telling me day number 6. Yeah, let me resize this to. Yeah, day number 3. It was the highest for 86. So of course, the funnel places them kulingana na how much was sold. So it arranges them in a certain order, going down, going up, and stuff like that. So day number 3 had this, day number 5 had this, number 2, 4, 1, 7, and 6. So 6 being the lowest, right? That is a different kind of visual that you can use. You can even just be clicking around them. If you click even this one, the donut chart, you can see day number 3, day number 1 iko hapo, and day number 7 is here, day number day number 6 is here, and such like stuff. So these are just visuals you can play around with, and even the pie chart, you'll see it there. No, this one, I don't believe it can fit this data. Yeah, it can't, because this one is not made for. You can even use a tree map and such like stuff, just seeing how proportions change when you use different kind of plots. You have your scatter plot also there, but of course it depends on which kind of data are you trying to plot. So it's not every visual that is going to make sense, right? Even line chart, of course, line chart won't make sense for us here. But yeah, initially, so here is where we are, right? Yeah, so the stacked column chart there. So if all of us are there, then now let's try to do the stacking, the drill down. So there's more information that I want to be shown. So pengine you expect to maybe go and do some presentation, right? And you are going to expect maybe some sort of question. Can you show us exactly what amount of goods were sold on day one? Like which specific goods were sold on day one, or maybe which specific commodities were sold on day one, and what is the unit metrics of those of those units that were sold. So that is where drill down comes through, right? So in drill down, there are things, of course, we'll explain it. So in the x-axis, we want to add another layer of information here, right? And maybe I want to add the unit sold. No, not unit sold. I want the product. Let's see, product name here. So you want to bring it here. So it introduces, you can even see there are several changes that are there. And when you tap on your visual, there are these things. There's drill up, there's a drill down, there's something like, of course, I'm already at the lowest level of data. Now here is where we call something the levels of hierarchy. So I'm at the lowest level because product name was, I took product name down below day of the week. So the lowest level of hierarchy is product name. This product name is the lowest level of hierarchy. And you have, of course, even filter on visuals. You have this focus mode is just going to enlarge what we have here. And you have more options that you can do. You can export, show as table, remove, and sort legend also. Sort it in terms of, yeah. Let's now try to see. So when I turn this drill mode on, right, I can go up. So that time I was already on the lowest level of hierarchy. So when I go up, I go to the, what do we call it? The highest. Now I go back to the highest level of hierarchy. When I click this, go to the next level in the hierarchy. So the next level is going to be the product name, which is the lowest one, right? So if I tap on maybe day number one, the number of units that were sold on day number one was 427. How about if you drill down? If you drill down, you see that there was stainless steel that was sold, and 72 units were sold for the stainless steel. Multi-tool knife, 71 were sold. You can see that. That is more information has been underlaid, right? Nylon rope, some of units sold were 70. And such like stuff. Backpack, we sold 59. That is for day number one. So I can just click on this to drill up, go back to our highest level of hierarchy, and even click the number 7. If you click this, you can even see here the filter that we are now using is day of the week, which is number 7, day of the week number 7. So we see that weatherproof jacket dominated, going through to N95 mask, which sold 10. So if I am done with that drilling, I can even I can go up and turn the drill mode off. Is somebody having any question around drilling? Let me see.
So may you pardon how you've turned off the drill mode?
So if you just hover your cursor around the visual that you have and click this, if you click it, the drill mode is on, right? So I can click this one to move to the lowest level of hierarchy, right? Of course, you see how it changes, though this is not really what you want to see. I can go back up. How about if you click this, expand all down one level in the hierarchy? Yeah, if I expand it to just one level of hierarchy, there's too much information here because it is telling us multi-tool survival on day 4. This is the amount that was bought. It arranges it in terms of which one was sold the highest. So ukiangalia day number 4, multi-tool survival knife was the one that dominated, and it goes all through up to the last one, right? Which was solar battery flashlight. Yeah. So this one is just a list of how the products were sold per day. So if I go up, if I drill up, I go back to the main visual that I was seeing. And after I'm done with that, I can just turn it off, right? Victor, have you seen how to turn it off?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So another thing, part of understanding the drill downs and the drill ups, there's something that you've done here. Now, if you look at them, I want to give you another thing to go and do. It's not really a huge task. If you look at this, there is a multi-tool survival knife starting, and then there's the number 5 duct tape, there is number 2 nylon rope, there is number 4. Go and look for how to group them so that I have only information for day 1 starting, and then I have information for day 2 grouped together. I have information for day 3 grouped together, day 4 grouped together, day 5, so that I don't have maybe day number 4, one of the day number 4 is here, and another day number 4 is hanging somewhere here. Of course, with this, you can give an explanation in terms of a better explanation that maybe a multi-tool survival knife is doing better or something like that. But you may want to look at it per day, right? So that I have all the information starting here, number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up to 7. It can be for day number 1. And then going again for another maybe set of 7 or 5, depending on which products were sold, because units sold per day differs. Maybe a day there were 3 units sold, the other day there was 7 or maybe more than 7, because our products are 10. We have 10 products, so you will have a different range. So go and look at how to group it. Of course, it is in that video that I sent in the class that Alvin you are struggling to get. But go and check on that, how to group them as part of you trying to master that. This is Gumbaru School, and you learn by doing. Yeah, so I can turn it on so that I go back up. So this is the information that we have. So if somebody looks at this, um, they might think that maybe there's no more information, but then you become smart and turn your drill on and give a level explanation about what you have done, and that might also uh, increase maybe level of trust or something, or maybe your salary in your workplace. There's so much that can do. So go and check on that. The next thing that we may look at is let's look at something called conditional formatting. Before that, is somebody having any question? Yeah, there's something that I wanted to also show you. Of course, you can even rename this so that it doesn't appear that long. This is sum of units sold by day of the week and day of the week 2. That is too long. So we can have it. when it says and day of the week too, why is it doubling the definition? So you can just have that as sum of units. So you can just recreate the title name so that it doesn't appear ambiguous. So maybe sum of units sold by day of the week. We can even remove these two. So you just double tap and rename your unit, rename the name of your visual. Is that okay? Are you able to do that? That should be simple. You can even double tap on the one down and try to see. Okay, so let's go to conditional formatting. Yes. So let's build something else here. So let's go back to our data and build like maybe product name. Let's use product name. Let's use product name and build something. So we have those product name, and then maybe we want the units that were sold. So I don't want to see it in that form. I want it maybe in a table form. Yeah, so this is my table. Have you created this table before we try conditional formatting? Put your hand up if you've done that. No, I mean like type something or send an emoji so that we don't leave somebody behind. Dan, Moses Dan, Ingrid Dan, Eric Dan, Lewis Dan. Victor? Have you been able to create that visual, the table? Victor Dan. Joseph?
Working on it.
Alvin? Dan? There's somebody who has not spoken in this class today. Pashamai? Pashamai? Have you created it? Similar to David? Evita, Pashamai, Dan, Beryl, and Eric.
I'll work on it tomorrow. I'm using my phone. We didn't have lights.
Okay. David, Dan, Nathan, Dan. Muema? Okay. Eric is okay. So I hope also Priska you're done. Eric Oko, that's okay. Yes. So let's try to look at how to do conditional formatting. That is something that you did also in. Let me try to see if we have event cyclists. That's a heavy data. It's taking time to open. But let us just look at this one first so that we see what it's saying. So if you want to enlarge even your table, that is okay. Mushiti, we have gone like 2 rounds over you. If we are in a race, we could have done like 2 rounds over you. But nonetheless, you have arrived. Some of units also we want to do a conditional formatting here. So if you click on some of units where you are building your visuals and click on right click, you'll see this variance, standard deviations. These are things that you can use to calculate quick fast. So there's also conditional formatting here. I hope all of you are able to see that before I click anything. Who is not able to do that? Okay, silence means you are okay. Yeah, so if I right click on these values that we have, because I want to use this sum of units sold, or I mean I want to use this unit sold. So right click on sum of units, go to conditional formatting, and maybe background color. So we'll look at a couple of them. Let us look at background color before we go to something called slicing. You can also want to slice your data. So it brings you to this page, right? So you can check here, you can use gradient, rules, field value. Let's go with gradient first. Values only. Do you want to apply conditional formatting on values and totals, or I want to apply it on totals only? But in this case, we want to apply it on values only. If we apply it also on totals, this one also will be affected. This 3001, this one would also be affected, but that is not what you want. So let's go back to conditional formatting, background color, and do it here. So what field should we base this on? We are using the sum of units sold, unless we want another field inside one of these tables. Then, but we are using sum of units sold. What is the summarization? Of course, it has used the sum, right? How should we format empty values? So if we have empty values in our table, what should happen? Don't format or format as 0. If you click on specific color, you'll need to specify the color that is going to be used to format the values that are empty. But here we want to say don't format them. Of course, we don't have any empty value. I mean, so minimum value, what color is going to be shown? Then you can choose on one of the colors. So maybe you can choose on this. So this will be the gradient. Of course, highest value, how will it be shown? Maybe I want it to be shown like black. So this is like the gradient that will be used. So for those that the highest value will be black, the lowest value will be this color. This one is purple. I don't know, it's purple or some shade of pink. But ladies are good with that. Yeah, you may even want more colors. So I can even change it to this. I want it to start from this point, and you can drag this around and uh, whatever the way you want it. So let me maybe place it there. Maybe a light green. Yeah. So highest value, how do I want it to be shown? You can click on more colors and highest value, maybe place it hapo kwa kona huko juu, right? And click on OK. Yeah. Now you can see lowest value 182 going to 477. Is anybody able to do that, or is having a challenge? Victor, are you okay?
Yes, I'm okay.
Okay. And Lewis?
Okay. Okay.
One lady to the 2/3 gender rule. Let me see. Evita. Not Evita. Priska. Okay. I believe you're okay. Yeah, so this is how you can do conditional formatting on your on your data. So if I right click, I can even remove that conditional formatting. You right click, then there is remove conditional formatting. Let's remove it. Mine is not in ascending order. Yeah, you can arrange it in ascending order, Mr. Eric. Yeah, you can sort. There is sort ascending, sort descending. If you just click your table and there's these three dots here, you can see there's sort ascending, right? Okay, so that's that. Yeah, so I wanted to remove this conditional formatting that we have here. Okay, Eric, I see you're okay. If you just right click again on the values and then we remove this, remove the background color because that is what you started with. Okay, we can go back and do another conditional formatting and maybe use we can use even, let's go back to background color but use something different, that is rules, right? You just click here and find the rules. So rule number one, so what field should we base this on? Of course it's still sum of units. Well, summarization, of course it's sum. And then if value, this is greater than or equaling to, if it is, if the first value that you're working with is greater than or equaling to maybe 0, right? They should not be percent because our values are in number form. But if we have them in percentage, then we could leave this as percent. Okay, yeah, even this percent we can use. I'll just show you how, sorry. I was forgetting that. But if value is greater than or equaling to, maybe the minimum value is 0 and less than, let's say if it is less than 199, if it's less than that, then the color should be, let's use something like Azimio, and then we can add a new rule. And then if this one is greater than or equaling to, here is 199, greater than or equaling to 199. Yeah, because here it is less than 199, so here we can pick it as greater than or equaling to 199 and less than something like 500. So here you can click to change less than or equaling to. So we can maybe say less than or equaling to or just less than. Again, maybe 500 because I saw our last value there is 465, I believe. So here should be number. So if I leave it as percent, you'll see there's a red box here. Please check the logic of this rule. So here should be number. Then the color should be, let us do UDA somewhere here. And this one will be, yeah, that is, yeah. So we have those two. Those are the two rules that you can even try to reverse them. This one to go up, go down, and such like stuff, reverse color order. If I have another rule that I'm supposed to add, I can add that rule. But let me click OK. Yeah, you can see what has happened. Yeah, you can see 180 and 190 are less than 199. So it goes the Azimio way. UDA picks the rest, which is 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that is just conditional formatting. I mean, these things does not imply anything practical in the real life world. Another thing maybe we can. Is somebody able to do that, or there's somebody struggling to write the rules? Okay, silence means you're okay. I can even still remove that, remove all, and then redo another condition of formatting. Background color, we still just use this background color, but bring in the rules again and say if value is, we can use even percent. if value is 0 to, if value is 0, if greater than or equaling to 0%, and also less than, maybe less than, how can we divide 100%? We want to divide it into, we can divide it into 3 or 4 or even 2. How do you want us to divide it? Do we do 3 or we do 4? So that we have a third, or a quarter, which is 25%. So let's use a third, and then maybe the first percentage should be less than 33%, right? Then the color should be, if a value falls, be the color should be maybe red, and then we can add a new rule. If it is greater than or equaling to 33, but less than 66, less than 66, the color should be something like maybe that, and also add a new one. If it is equaling to or greater than this, should be 66, and this should be 100%. So this one we also change it to percent, and let's see if it is going to work something for us. It is rumors. Let us do a black. Oh, but that one, it'll be color. Okay, then this. Okay, let's see if it works. Yeah, so you can see, yeah, but that dark one imechafua. So you can see maybe the ones that fall below the, between the 0 to 33%, the first 33% of our data, we have 182, 190, 212, 227, 265. Then that falls between the next third, that is 33% to 66%, is 343, 350, 365, and I believe this one should be something else, up to 465. Yeah, so that's it. That's how to do your conditional formatting. And of course, we can even still remove this. Can remove all and use a different thing like conditional format using data bus, right? So minimum value, lowest value, highest. Of course, we don't have any negative value, so we won't be having a color for negative bar because our values are positive. How about if we click? Yeah, now you can see this, right? So this is a data bar. So you can see that maybe, yeah, trying to maximize for you to see. So there is now 477, 390. So 477 is our highest value. So the bar is almost like full, right? So depending on this, 390 is really not that full. 365 going back to solar battery flashlight, which is 182. So that is how you can also use conditional formatting for data bar. But there's something that maybe we've not seen at length called let's remove it and try to redo it again. And yeah, this one, we are moving left to right, right? So it will also define how your data bar is going to appear. If you put it like right to left, it changes the direction, right? So this is also something that you need to consider. You can even place that you show bar only minus the values that we have inside there, and that one is something that maybe we may not want to do. Okay, there are numerous kind of formatting that you can also do. And if you look at conditional formatting here, there are even icons that you can use. That is also something that you may want to go and try. Icon for some of units and such like stuff. So you can even see it has used maybe what we had at that time. You can even change these the shapes that are here. You can use different kind of shapes, right? These are the icons that you can use to create your conditional formatting. So let's just do it. I wanted you to go and look at it by yourselves, but so these are the new rules. You can even change them if you don't want it to be in terms of percent and be in number. You can do that and create your new rule. Then when you do that, if it falls below the first 30 up to 33%, there's this icon. If it falls in the middle, there's this icon. And if it falls in the last group, that is the 67 to 100%, there's this icon that is shown. So that is how you can do that. And I hope nobody is lost. Victor, are you okay?
Yes, I'm okay.
Moses?
I'm okay.
Okay. Who is lost? Simon Derrick, you joined a little bit late. Are you with us or you are with them?
Yes, hi. So yeah, I'm around. Nico.
Okay. Yeah. So I think that is that, and we have seen how you can do your formattings here and there. And there's something else. If you look at maybe our data, if you just click on any, for example, I click on waterproof matches, it is telling me how much it was sold per day. I mean, if you click anything here, there's movement in the other visuals that are going to be present in your report view. If I click on even this one, you can see movements on this other side, right? Similar to this, there are movements there. But how about if you want to disable that? Who knows how to disable that one? That interaction between your visuals. Hubert Moracha. Hubert, do you know how to do that? Hubert is silent. Yeah, but you may want to click that and click on format so that you edit your interactions. If you click on this edit interactions, let's try to see if it is working. Let's try to. It's still not working. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's try it once more. And format. Mhm. Mm, Click on none. Yeah. Right now, if I tap on any of them, there's nothing that is happening here because I clicked on that You click on that none that appears when you click on format and edit interaction. When you do this, then there will be no interaction between this visual and this other visual. Yeah, right now, if I click on this, there's nothing that is happening on this other side, right? Yeah, so that is how you can edit your interaction so that it doesn't happen every time, every now and then when you click on any of them. Okay. So there's something that I want us to look at that is called slicing, and you also did it came across it in Excel. We may also want to look at slicing. So which one do we use? So let's think of let's try to use this or create a new one. Yeah, I wanted to use this section which we had used to create those tables, but let us just create a new one here. And when you click on your visuals here, you'll find a section here called slicer. I hope you're able to see that slicer. And when you click it, it's brought here. Mm. So which one do you want to use for a slicer? Maybe we want to slice our data using city. So are you able to see that? What happens if you click Kisumu? And if you click Mombasa, you can see like your information, the information on the table is sliced according to the city that you choose. Suppose I want to view information on Nairobi only, day of the week, this is what was happening. These are some of the units that were sold in Nairobi, 609. If I click Nakuru, it is 828, and you can see all that information here. You understand why a filter is why a slicer is important. It helps you just to filter through your data. For example, if you have a data for regions and such like stuff, yeah, you can even look at sales in different regions, specific regions. I mean, so if maybe Kisumu was a region or maybe a branch of Ketias, then I want to see how our company is performing in the western region. How our company is performing in areas like Kitui and such like stuff. So depending on, or even like look at it in terms of continent or maybe in terms of country, you can have information, maybe COVID cases in somewhere like Kenya, Uganda, look at France and such like stuff. So you may want to even slice it in terms of continent, in terms of country, in terms of city, in terms of sub-county, if that exists mutually across all the countries that you're working with. Who is having a challenge doing that? Before we talk about something else on that slicer. If you've been able to do it, type yes. Let me see the yeses. And if you haven't been able to do it, type no. Yeah. Done. Moses done. Next. Lewis, okay. Eric, pardon, please. Yes, Eric, we that is taken care of. Patrick, Sami, done. Amos, all good. Hubert, okay. Aloch, I want to see Ingrid Amunga is okay. Pashamai is similar to Aloch and Beryl. Oh, yeah, Beryl, you mentioned something, and also Alvin and Priska. Yeah. So you're asking me to repeat. Maybe let me just remove this. Remove and bring in the slicer. You'll find it here where you have your visual. So go there and click on slicer. Eric, click on slicer, and then you will have your. You can drag it around here so that so let's slice it using. Yeah, we've seen maybe slicing it using city. Let us slice it using dates. Is it date purchased or a day of the week? Let's slice it using date purchased. Yeah, so you can see this slicer for date purchased. So if I move this around, you can move this around to, for example, let me see, we are in January 1st. Let's move it to up to February 1st. February 1st. Yeah, only February. Yeah, February 1st. So the information that you're seeing here is for February 1st up to March 15th, right? If I try to even bring this, the information you'll be seeing here is from February 1st up to uh, March 1st, right? Yeah, so that is how you can even use that slicer and move it around to how you want it to be. So let me remove that and bring in the initial slicer that we had. Slicing through, and I want to show you another one in the Microsoft themes section. Let's slice it back using that city. Yeah, so we are back to this. Mwema, I hope you're okay. Eric. Eric. Okay. Yeah, okay. I see you're okay. Yeah. So how about if you want to view information for maybe Kisumu and Mombasa? Is anybody able to do that? And if you're able to tell us how you, because if you tap on this, you can only see Kisumu and you can only see Mombasa. Yeah, but if you want to add more days, not really days, but cities, you click on control and then just press Nairobi and press maybe Nakuru. If you press, of course, Kisumu, you'll be seeing everything. So press control and just be tapping on the ones that you want to see. So maybe I don't want Nairobi to be seen. So what I am seeing here is information for Mombasa and Nakuru. Are we together? Are we together, Victor?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So there's something else that you may want to do. Yeah, it is telling me that this setting has moved to change the slicer style, select formatting. Who is seeing something different from mine? When you click on, there's this small arrow here. This one. Are you seeing something different? Okay. So let's try to look for that information. I'll just double tap it, and it's telling me that go to select format slicer settings and option style. Size and style. Slicer settings option style. Okay. Let's see where I can get that what I'm looking for. Yeah. So here it is. So slicer settings and then options and style vertical list, and then I can use maybe tile. If I press on tile, you'll see how it appears, and if you press on drop down, you'll see how it's appearing. Let's try to do this. Then yeah, so right now if I click that, then I can see information for these countries, for these cities, I mean. But what is appearing first is all. It's not like they are appearing the way they were initially, where all of them you could see them at once. So in this case now I'm seeing just all, and I can click on all so that I see all of them at at a go. Yeah. So let me show you something here. Let's go to view and try to look at some of the themes that are there created by Microsoft community. Communities like you and I is also a community. Just for you to look at some slicer settings. Let me click on this. View report. So it is loading. So you can even see the essence of a slicer, for example, here. Age number 31, there is age number 72. But you can even move with that slice. This is like an HR management dashboard, right? Just containing information about employees, who are those that have left, and such like stuff. Hired by race. Are you a white? Are you a black? Are you an American or something? Are you Hispanic? And such like stuff. What is the cost of hiring one person per by every department? Absences by department and sex and such like stuff. Termination by age. Those people whose contracts have been terminated in the past. And you can even see now slicer here. You can move around and see, like, for those who are 55 to 72 years. Yeah, and then everything starts moving around. The count of employees between 55 to 72 are 41. Total cost 3M and such like stuff. What is their satisfaction by department? You can see that. Termination by age. Now you see here we are moving 55 to 70. And leavers by races, those who have left the company and such like stuff. Average of salary by sex and race in descending, I believe so. Yeah, 83K to 86 and 66 or something. I don't know what that is talking about, but yes, now here you're looking at just a essence of a slicer. Even this one is a slicer, this citizenship status, and it's similar to what we have used in when you had the city one, right? So you can even just click on eligible non-citizens, and everything is moving around, right? I just want to view that, or I only want to view the US citizens. I want to view that. And so maybe I want to see those who are Hispanics. Are you a Hispanic? Then yes. Hispanics, we have 9 leavers. We have employee count 28. Their age, of course, I see there is 32 and up to 60, and such like stuff. I want to see only the information about the male community, right? Or the male people in the male gender in our company, and then you see all that information: employee count 135, total cost 10M, and 44 leavers. Let's see. So females, most of them leave. We have 60 leavers and such like stuff. Yeah, that is like, just I wanted to show you the essence of a slicer. Even these ones are also just slicers that we, similar to what I've just shown you, how to have it as all. Yeah, because if you leave it the way it was, it can really fill up the space for. Imagine that it was left this way, that we have select all up to. Sorry, this one is up to 5. So if you have it up to 5, it's really crowding your page, your report page, right? And that really doesn't maybe make sense. So if you have it this way, it's really beautiful as compared to um, the way it was. So these are just arrangements of everything that you've done there. You can arrange them this way, right? And this is just a kind of an analysis. And so depending on what a company wants, these are things that you can really do on your table, in your data analysis. Yeah, you can also be just checking even these different kinds of analysis that have been done by people here and there, just to see how you can even arrange your table. What are slicers that you can even use depending on the data that you have, and even maybe minus that. Let's look at the last one before we drop. Okay. So maybe let's look at what. This one is not English. Superstore revenue report. Okay. Okay. Let's use this. Yeah. You can also see maybe somebody was doing a revenue report. Yeah. So here you can also see this one is also a slicer here by year, and ship mode is also a slicer. And again, just to confirm the way they did it, also similar to what I was telling you, so that you don't have all information that it can be seen. If you present them that way, it can really fill up the reports page. Ship mode, first class, same day, second class, standard class, and such like stuff. Sorry. Yeah. And then there's even that sum of profit by category, the sum of profit by region, sum of profit by category again. Yeah. And you can also see sum of profit by segment and such like stuff. And these ones are also even like just a table for summations. So sum of profit, sum of sales, sum of quantity. You have that table. You present all this information in a table. Sum by category, central, east, and such like stuff. And yeah, this is just how you can build your report. And that also just sums what we had been doing. So what we had been doing was more of like trying to calculate different things here and there, and so we can just arrange them in a manner that depicts what we want. And even this page, we can have an information of it, maybe executive summary of daily sales. So this you can rename to maybe daily sales, and rename even page 2, page 3, and such like stuff. And the last thing, yesterday I showed you how to customize your page. You can use these themes, and even this one I can even change it and use this one. And then you see information changes again. There's this slicer that I have here. I can even bring it up here so that it sits here. You have this information. Depending on how I want to arrange them, I can give them titles. And for you to give a title, of course, you click on home and then this text box. You can place that text box there. Or there's a title that sometimes it's generated here. You can see sum of units sold by day of the week. That is what you customize, right? Similar to the others. And even this one, sum of units sold by day. It's just a similar thing. You similar title, and then you just customize that title. If not, use this text box to bring in the name of your visual. So that is how you can customize your how your report view section is going to appear. You can try out different ones and then look at what is. So even this one, you can leave it this way. And so, yeah, this way. If it needs to be expanded, you can expand that so that it. So we have that high sale, low sale, and things like that. And then I can now be using my slicer. And then, of course, this one also has a drill down. So now you can be using your slicer to move through. And then just say that I only want to see information from Kisumu, and everything now moves around. And that is how you can arrange your report view. Okay. Any question? Tomorrow we will be talking about publishing, because you also need to know how to publish your information, and more of an introduction into automating everything. We'll have a look at that also, if time allows us. But most of the things that you need to know, we have actually looked at them. Power BI is not really that complex as such. You can even see from the reports that people have built there. It's really not complex, but of course it requires you to master what the business want to see, and what even you also you want as the outcome of your analysis. So there are things that are here and there. The only thing that might may be confusing to you is the Dutch language, when it gets a little bit complex. Dutch language, and also creating the relationships. That is, which of course is not really difficult, but the only thing that can confuse you is the Dutch language. And these are the things like building these reports here and there, creating the visuals might really not be an issue, provided you understand the task at hand. Yeah. Any question? Any kind word for anybody struggling with Power BI? What do you have to say to them, Joseph? Or are you part of them? Your microphone is on mute. Okay, Joseph seems to be part of them. Moses?
For me, today it has been a little bit okay. I think the first and second day, I saw it like it's a difficult thing, but with the videos you've been sending, and then some recap, I think it's well on from my side, and thank you. And maybe hoping to get more from you.
Simon, yeah, thank you, Moses. Yeah, of course, when somebody is meeting something for the first time, it might throw them off a little bit. But if you accept to be lifted off the ground, then that is the onset of failures. So if you stand your ground that I'm not going to be moved and I want to know this thing for real, then you'll find it nice as things progress. Simon, you wanted to say something. I saw your microphone was on. Okay. Beryl, your hand is up.
Okay, for me, it's not a question related to what we have just handled. Mine is just a general question. So, I decided to take this course because I am in the field of I'm interning as a data analyst assistant at an NGO. But now my challenge is I feel like I don't have like a lot of like the data I have. It's not giving me a lot of stories that I would want to get. So what do you do in such cases? I feel like the data we are actually collecting to measure impact, it's like it's not like I don't know, it's measurable, but then it's just drawn to like I don't get much, like even if I use Power BI or maybe Tableau to try and visualize, it's just a simple graph and such stuff. What would you advise?
Also, so you're talking about the data you're collecting at that NGO.
Yeah.
And of course, when things are starting, you always start from the point of start from the simple things and go to the hard things. So you've outgrown the simple data.
Yes, and that's
Okay.
what they have been
Mhm.
collecting all along, even before, even with the data analysts. I'm just the intern.
Uh, okay.
Yeah.
In that case, maybe you can be the source of change depending on what you want to, what you think that the NGO should be collecting. But again, there are public data sets that for you, maybe you are interested in growing in terms of knowing more in analysis. Like these are the kind of data that you can analyze here and there. There are these complex kind of data. When you have it, this is what you can do. So there are various public data sets that are available that you can just pick to try and do analytics on. And example, of course, is cargo, which you can. Let me just maybe check. You can even see the screen. Just check on maybe cargo data sets. It's cargo data sets, and you can find numerous kind of data sets for you to play around with. And of course, I've just logged into my. So you can search data sets here and there. Maybe uh, data for what's happening in this. Why is the search bar? Okay, well, let's see if we can get business data set and such like stuff. So salary data set of business levels, Amazon business research analyst data set, business details data set, and You can even use this filter to look at the size. There's small, there's medium, and then maybe you want a large data set. You can filter in terms of I want just .csv or JavaScript object notation, data license, commercial and license, and such like stuff. So you can go to Kaggle. If you don't have an account, you can create an account and just do a search, right? And then you can have it maybe in terms of large or such like stuff. Apart from that, you can even just look at public repositories and search. There, I think here you can see it's telling you the best free data repositories for aspiring data scientists. Or there's even one for big data analytics platform. The platform. There's one for data sets or database or dataset or database. Yeah, if you search it, I'll maybe give you the link. There should be one. But if you search it, you'll get like different kinds of data that you can use to your query. Okay. Yes, Beryl. Or Beryl dropped. Okay, yeah, Beryl's there. Yeah, you can do that. You can go to Kaggle and get data sets there, or look for more data repositories, or just search for public data sets or databases. Okay. Or if you want,
Okay.
if you want data, I can also share with you some that I have, so that you practice around with their large Excel database, the data sets. I mean.